Microsoft just announced Cowork Plugins for Dynamics 365, and that means we can connect finance and operations to Copilot Cowork. The first thing we need to do is to make sure that your system is on Frontier. This is currently only available for Frontier customers. I'm not going to show you how to activate Frontier in the M365 Admin Center, but I'll put a link below in case you don't have that. So let's assume that you have Frontier. Okay, step one, I have an environment. We don't need to know the environment URL. We just need to know the name. So it's Tina v US MCP. And I'm going to jump to that environment, and you can see it's on 10.0.46. The first step that I have to do is to go into feature management and to make sure that the Dynamics 365 ERP MCP server is enabled. It will be in all in this case. Okay, Dynamics 365 ERP Model Context Protocol server, and I'm going to enable it. It's important that you enable it first, because if you try to do this next step, it won't be there. I'm going to go to allowed MCP clients, and here I have to add a new line for Copilot Cowork. And I will put the client ID in the description below so that you can just copy it. So that's the client ID. Very important. Remember to put this allowed to true, because if you don't, it won't work and it will tell you it can't find the tool. So there we go. That's all the setup we need in finance and operations. Then I'm going to head over to M365 chat. Okay, so from the M365 chat, I don't have Cowork installed yet. So I'm going to go to all agents and look for Cowork. And if you're on Frontier, you should be able to find it and to add it. Then you'll have these settings where you can see skills and plugins. And the first time you open it, you would not have ERP apps enabled, but you can just switch it on. Of course, once you switch it on, it's not connected to the environment yet because it doesn't know which environment to look at. So important is to go into the settings and preferably connect it to a sandbox first before production. I told you that it's not important to remember the URL. That's because it will list the environments based on the name. So I'll just go through the drop down and then I click on done. And it's very tempting to immediately start prompting it, but it won't work immediately. You need to give it a couple of moments. If you run it immediately, it will show you a message that it doesn't understand the context. Yeah, it will show you something like this, that it cannot understand what the user wants. So you're going to want to give this about 5 minutes. So if you've enabled the MCP on the server, the feature, and you've allowed the client, and you've connected it here, and it still tells you that it doesn't have the tool, just give it a little bit more time, 5, maybe 10 minutes. So I have given it some time, and now I'm going to paste the prompt. So I want to ask it, who is the vendor for purchase order 41 in USMF in finance and operations? And if I have done this immediately after setting it up, it will complain that it doesn't have any context, or it will just give you a message that it doesn't have access to tools except Outlook and SharePoint. If you've waited long enough, it will start to set things up, and then you will see it will start to look for data entities. And this is the sign that the finance and operations instance is actually connected and the tool call will work. So we'll just give it a moment to look for data entities and to find this purchase order. In the meantime, I will just go into finance and operations and we can look what the answer should be. So this is USMF 41, and so it should return Fabricam. And I realize this is a very simple use case. I just want to show you the connection, and then we can go into more complicated use cases in a future video. There we go. It found Fabricam. So that's it. That's how you connect Cowork plugins to finance and operations. I hope that was helpful, and let me know if you have any questions down below.